Hello everybody, I'm Maria and this is my daughter Sian, and we're here today to do our homeschool cooking vlog. Today we're making shortbread. So we've already washed our hands, so we're going to go right into it and make it. We're following a recipe from the Bureau cookbook. Good old-fashioned Bureau cookbooks. Vintage now, I think. But it has really good recipes and good for children to follow. So we'll get on and do that then, Charles. If you want to read the recipes. First of all, we've already heated the oven and we've already greased the tray. So what we need to do first then, we need to mix the flour and sugar into a bowl. Okay, so you need to weigh out your flour, which is 9 ounces of plain flour. And there's your plain flour. And your scales are already set. So if you weigh out 9 ounces of plain flour.
How do you open the flour?
Oh, different packet this week. Last week we had a paper packet, didn't we? This week we've got a tub.
How many ounces?
9, I think it's 9 ounces. See, we're as vintage as my cooking book, working in pounds and ounces. There we are. So, you know where 9 is on the scale, just past the 8. Yeah, the one past the 8. If you saw last week's episode, we made a fruit cake, and that was really nice. Did burn a little bit on one edge, I think, because I covered them in foil. I think the foil had caught in the oven because when I brought it out it had a rip on one side. So I think I must have caught it when we popped it into the oven. But it was really nice, it tasted great. 10 out of 10 for Sian. So we got 9 ounces there, Sian, that's brilliant. If you want to tip it into your mixing bowl. Yeah, make sure it's all in, give you a little tub of bang. And then put your, make sure it's set back to 0, because now you need to measure out. Can we see the light? What does it say next? There, look, sugar. It's quite small writing, isn't it, that?
Yeah, that's why I can't read
Either
it.
that or my glasses need changing.
That means mine do.
Right, sugar. We've got caster sugar. So, how many do we say? So you only want 3 ounces of that. So it's 3 of the little bits across the top. Yeah. Had a good baking day yesterday. Having picked apples off our trees outside, I baked crumbles and apple pies and filled my freezer that's up in the workshop. So we've got lots of pies and crumbles for over winter. That's if they don't eat them before then. Have we got 3? Yeah, lovely, perfect. You measure much better than me. Got a little bit over here and a little bit more of that. That's lovely. So let's read your instructions. Is that on note?
No, it's not.
No. What if it's moved?
Oh,
what you do is like alter the base, like that. See? Don't bang on where you are. Yes. Don't bang your top because it may alter it. So there we go then. Mix your flour and sugar in a bowl, then rub in the butter. So if you measure your butter first, you want 6 ounces. Use the one that's open first. We're actually going to use the same brand of butter this week after having 2 different sorts last week. We always do things like that. So we have 6 ounces of that. Get it off. Might have to just give it a nudge. As long as you don't put your fingers near your mouth when you're doing it and that, it's fine. So how is everybody doing? Are we all productive in our gardens this time of the year? Gathering in the harvest? Next year we're hoping to have some more apple trees and pear trees, and I'd like some Victoria plum trees as well. But we'd put them on the front, I think. A little orchard on the front would be nice.
6, right?
Yes, 6 I think it was. So hoping to do that next year. Whether we will or not, I don't know for sure, because I think we'll have to start ordering the trees. I think around about the end of November they'll send them out. So we'll be having to order them soon because they'll need to be planted ready for spring next year. But if we don't get them for next year, it's definitely going to be the year after. Because as you go along, you just build up and up. Because we want to concentrate on digging up the back lawn and putting a vegetable plot down there. Instead of having little planters here, there and everywhere, we want to put it all in one place. Although we will still have some little planters here and there,
Done that.
but not so much everywhere. So we've done that, we've got 6. Yep, I'll smash it. So if you want, you can use your spoon to scrape it in there.
Okay.
Tip it in, some always get stuck, so just use your spoon to scrape what gets stuck, if anything does. Normally bits do. There we are. We can pop that into the washing up water.
In there?
Yeah, that's great. And then not to float, I'll soak it in, that's it. You shouldn't need your spoon, so you can pop that in. So what we'll do, we'll just remove the butter because like I've said before, we've got the teeniest, tiniest kitchen. So if we can put things away as we go along, all the better. It makes us more space. So put that in the fridge. And what we need to do now then, Sean, as long as the spider's not by me, it's okay. Right then, we're going to mix your flour and sugar in the bowl and rub in the butter. So to rub it in, you know how we did apple crumble? Give it all a rub in like that. And then we should be able to start kneading it when we've got it mixed
I have to take
together.
my bracelet off then.
That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want that touching your food, and neither do you want food trapped in that.
No, because I need it.
No, so I can remove some of these things out of the way.
Wait, so let's just squish it together kind of.
Yeah, do it like you did with breadcrumbs, so you can, that'll mix it well. And then we form it together then, we'll, like you would pastry. That up there. That's it, gives us a little bit more space to work from. What I wouldn't give for a nice big kitchen, I often feel like I live in a doll's house. Put that up there.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, so it's all mixed up nicely, all your sugar and your butter. It will stick to you because it's designed to bind together.
Great.
So yeah, if you feel it's all mixed up enough, start to bind it together and knead it together. So you make a lump, form it to a lump. That's it, encourage it to form. Make sure you go off your fingers so you're not all stuck to you. That's it, and then bind it, knead it in. I think you just scrunching it up.
Oh, am I?
Well, yeah, come here, look. You just hold that over there. What you need to do is bring it around and try and make it into a ball like this, you see.
Yeah, okay.
Can you do that?
Maybe.
Keep it going until you've got a nice ball and scrape it off your fingers as well, because obviously that's all part of what you're doing. Belongs to it. There you go.
Do you have to wash your hand after this?
Yeah, it's get messy jobs. I was doing crumble yesterday, and oh dear, I was covered in crumble mix. Crumble mix all over the place. It's such a small kitchen, and trying to do a bulk of them, it was just impossible. And my husband was in here, and he was peeling apples, and I was doing all the crumble mixing.
Mum, give me this one relaxing.
And then we were having to try and find places to put all the crumbles we'd prepared that weren't as yet in the oven. So although I've got a double oven, you still can only fit so many in. So we were sort of putting them in and finding spaces, bringing some out, finding room for them to cool, and oh gosh, I need a bigger kitchen.
Oh, gosh. What's that doing?
Just whispering to Dean, he can't come in and make himself a cup of tea at the moment because we're doing the cooking vlog and there is no room. So as you can see, there's the kettle and there's no room for him to make a drink at
What
the
are
minute.
going to do about tea?
Coffee your dad drinks, doesn't he? don't think he'll wilt away just yet.
Yeah.
He's outside today. He's sorting out the greenhouse,
Oh my god.
ready for next spring. We've got where the greenhouse is. I think I have done a vlog around the garden, but I don't think I focused too much on anything. It was more of a quick tour. But the greenhouse is underneath like hawthorn type bushes, and they belong to the neighbour and back onto the person behind, and neither seems to cut it or maintains it, and so where we join at the side, it's all coming right over. Well, if it comes right over, it's going to stop the sun coming into my greenhouse. It's going to shade it.
Is this okay?
Yeah, that's great. Just round into a ball, because we need to be able to roll it out. So yeah, so today he's gone out to cut it, and he's having to stand on a ladder and trim it, and it gets quite thick. The branches, as they get lower, are really, you know, quite thick, so he's struggling to chop them off, and they've got berries dropping all over the place. So the outside of the greenhouse will need a quick clean, but then it'll need another clean in springtime anyway before we use it. But then he wants to clean inside. I think what he likes using is Jay's fluid to whack it all out totally inside. And I don't know what other people use in their greenhouses, but we've always used Jay's fluid, and it always seems to be okay and works well. So that's what he's doing today. Because he had given out heavy rain for the next 5-6 days. The sun's shining outside. It looks really lovely. It's nice, and I even went and dried my washing in the tumble dryer today. And I could have hung it out, but there you go. It's dried now, it can be put away. So. But yeah, it is a nice day. It has turned out a nice day. So how are we doing, Sian? All ready for rolling? So what we want to do now then, shall I move your bracelets, is just put a bit of, I put the flour away. We want a bit of flour, don't we? We put some flour down so you can roll it out. It's snowing. Whee!
Finally. Scotland hasn't took our snow for once.
I don't know whether we'll stay this year or not. Right, so what you need to do is make sure you've got all your bits in it and pop it on there, okay? Roll, man, you can roll it round and pick your bits up in there. So, pat it all on up. Let's pat it. All pat like this, you see, that's what you'll do. It might be a good idea at this stage just to wash your hands.
Oh, I've got all over me hoodie.
Go in the wash. You wash every day. Right, do you want me to run the tap so you can wash your hands? There we go then. There you go. If you give a wash and get all the stuff off your hands, it'll make it easier for you to roll out. That's the only thing when you make things like this, and when you do pastry, it gets stuck everywhere. Although I do cheat with pastry, I've got a processor and an attachment. So when we do pastry, you may see us cheating and using that. So it makes it a lot quicker, especially when I'm making batch amounts. You can just knock them out dead fast and less mess. Right, so what you want now, you're going to do some rolling. A bit of flour on your pin. And roll your thing out.
How do you roll it?
Right, just roll, yeah, roll. There you are, now turn it round.
I'm meant to do that.
It's like this, so you get some, make sure it's losing its shape. Right, roll it. So if you roll that way, and then you roll the opposite way.
What, that way?
Yeah, so you take two turns, like roll in different ways.
Backwards, kind of. Right.
It's gonna, well, it will be flat. It will rise a bit. Look, roll this a bit more. Look. Normally, I don't know, that's an inch off, an inch. Well, since I've done them.
So you did these yesterday?
I didn't do the shortbread yesterday. I did apple pies and crumbles yesterday.
Oh.
Shortbread.
I misheard.
You probably heard me saying we were going to do shortbread today.
No, maybe.
Let's just have a check in the book what it says. Right, 7-inch rounds. Well, I don't know about how round it is. I don't know why I'm checking on sizes. So what we're going to do now, we're going to cut it into little biscuity shapes. I've got a nice little cutter. It's only cheap. It comes in a pack of 3 of these round ones with 3 square ones from the pound shop. So they're really good. I mean, they're not very good for making pies. Like if you'd make little mince pies, they're not really big enough, so I use cups for that. But great for things like this. So what we're going to do now, Sian, is cut them, you know?
Okay.
And then, where did I put the tray? Place them on the tray. See if we can fit the tray somewhere. If we move the bowl,
Wait.
we can perhaps put it beside you.
So do you just do it like when we made those Christmas shortbread things?
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah. Pop that there. There we go.
So just
Yeah, press it down. That's it. So just press as many as you can and then you can lift them off together, save your time rather than keep doing one of this and one of that. I line everything with grease-proof paper. When it says grease something, everything with me is grease-proof paper. Cakes and everything, I line all the containers with grease-proof paper. The only time I don't is if I'm making apple pie, well, yeah, apple pies, apple crumbles, you know, pies and crumbles. I do tend to grease them then.
you like the cookie grease?
And if I'm making rice puddings, I grease the basins. But if I'm doing jobs like this, or got to pop something in the oven where it says grease the tray, I just line it. Always line it. So are we ready then, Sian? Do you want a knife or something to lift from the bottom?
This is making me hungry.
Making you hungry?
Yeah, hungry.
Not long after, did you? Right, so if you lift your knife underneath and lift them, then place them on your...
That.
Well, there you are. Lift one up. That's the best way to do it. So make sure your knife goes, it's all free from the side. That's it. And place it on your tray. That's it. So if you place them on your tray with space between them, not too close together, otherwise you'll have it all fusing together when it cooks. It's lovely. You can do that, can't you? That's a nice, yeah, that's a good gap. And do the same when you make a new row. I mean, you might be able to make 3 rows on there. It depends. I don't know how much we'll get out of the mix. How is it 4 across?
They need to be at least 2 meters apart.
2 meters? Yeah. Do you know how big a meter is?
No.
I think 3 foot 3 inches, is it? Something like that. So you're talking of 6.5 feet between each other.
It wasn't true.
That's a bit bigger than your dad.
It wasn't true.
I hope so. My oven's not that big. My kitchen's not that big.
That was a joke. Didn't get it.
There we go.
I'm hungry. There was a country joke.
So, it's been nice. Yeah. So what we do now, when you've done all them, is bring it over again and knead it into another ball. So you roll it again. See, like this. Yeah, bring some of your flour that's moved. Right. See, that's how you do it. So,
To roll out again.
yeah, roll it again, similar to the other one, you know. That's it. And don't forget to turn it. There we go. That way to come, because you have to roll it both ways to get it as round-ish as you can. But don't roll too thin, because otherwise
It will break.
it'll just be a thin biscuit. Stop, you're going a bit thin. Bring it back. Right. If you want to cut them again then?
When I did cookery in primary school, I always did it too thin. No, break.
Trial and error, you learn as you go on. I remember my very first cooking lesson at school, I don't know if I've said before, But we had to choose what we were going to make, so I was going to make a jam tart, so I took ready-made pastry and a jar of jam into school with me. Needless to say, I got detention.
Why?
Well, that wasn't cooking, everything was ready-made. And you had to roll the pastry out and put the jam in, and that was it.
Oh.
So that didn't qualify. There you are, if you lift them again then. Don't know if we'll be able to, maybe we can squeeze a few more on maybe, so we can use the rest of the dough up. Oh dear, it was sticking around. Move them along a bit for you, then we can try and use all the dough in one tray instead of doing 2 trays.
These things are good with maple syrup.
Yeah, not what I eat. Experiment with that one.
Especially the ones that come from Wales.
You mean
The
Welsh cakes?
Yeah,
You don't like currants though?
no, the
They have
Welsh.
currants in.
What was it? The Welsh biscuit type of things that Lisa had.
Oh yeah, when you
Those ones, yeah, they're good with maple
Shortbread.
syrup.
I
They
know
are.
what you mean. I thought you were on about Welsh cakes.
No, I don't eat Welsh cakes.
So my favourite thing when I go to Wales, Welsh cakes. So she went to Wales, I automatically assume everyone's talking about Welsh cakes.
No, I don't eat Welsh cakes.
Oh dear.
I would if there was probably no currant
Should we
syrup.
put a little bit more flour just on there because it's I'm very liberal with the flour. I wonder I've never got none. There we are, that should be enough to roll it, Sian. Let's get your hands to wash again.
Should I flip it over now?
Oh, that's a bit thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better do it, my hand's a bit damp. That's it, I'll bring it, yeah, so you can do it. Just only do a little bit because it's quite thin looking, that is. Right, that'll be enough then. Just cut it again, but you cut it no more, stop.
I was.
Or we'll end up with a wafer. Right, get together. We keep doing this till there's none of the dough left. No, you won't get another one, Sian. Just keep doing that now till you've run out of shortbread dough.
Should I put it there?
Yeah, if we move things along a bit, we'll squeeze them in as long as we don't get everything too close, because if we do need things to spread out. We've got room between them. We've got a bit more space than there, and then to do the same again, you know, make it into a little round ball, and we'll keep doing that until we run out. So we're left with the last little bit that we just pat into a round shape. There we are, do the same again then. It's the only way to use it all. Just making a few, I don't know how they'll go, but... Does it sound... Oh no, I think mine was to a round. Call them petticoat tails, I think they're called. We just...
Come on. Stick together.
That's it. Once we're done with the cooking, I think my next job is putting the kettle on for the husband. I'm surprised he hasn't come out going, have you finished cooking yet? Can I have a coffee?
Probably isn't down chopped.
No, he knows I'll shout him when we're done.
Probably like a dog running inside the house ego. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great, yeah. And we'll have to search the aprons out. We've got aprons. We've got matching aprons, only mine says Grandma on, and yours, obviously got your name Sian, but mine says Grandma, because Jaden bought them on Christmas rather than Jaden for Christmas.
You could have said that earlier.
I'm not sure where it is unless it's in your bottom drawer.
Because didn't he give us something to make and we had to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it was
Cookies or something. Was it cookies?
It was from Secret Santa or something.
It was, yeah,
From
cookies
school,
or something.
wasn't it?
No, it wasn't from school. It was his Christmas present. And we all had them. And another one of my granddaughters, she had one with her name on. And so we made them all here. We did them all here.
Yeah.
In my little teeny tiny kitchen, knocking out lots of these little cookies. It'll do. You'll get 2 out of that. You should do if you go near to the edge. Get line it with the edge. That's lovely. Easily get the two out of that. And then perhaps the last one we'll just roll in the hands and pat it and shake it, because there won't be nothing really left to roll in the other one. No, we won't eat it. We'll shape it and put it on the tray to cook. Strange, Sian seems to like the smell of things before they're cooked. She likes the taste of things before they're cooked, like when she's making cakes, like she just said now with this. But once they're cooked, it's like it's something different and alien to her, and I don't like that. Apart from plain sponge, which you can put maple syrup on. So.
I don't know whether I told you this, but when I was like really little, and you used to like be down there and you'd leave the dough on there, I used to steal big chunks of dough and eat it.
Oh my word!
That was actually
truth comes out.
That was probably like in 2012, 13.
When you're 4 or 5. That's what you're going to do now. Put that in your hand and just pat it round. Let's make a little space for it. We'll pat it round and put it on.
It works okay.
No, not like that. Pat it. Put in your palms like that. Just pat it. You're not making a ball. You're flattening it.
I made a ball.
No, you flatten it. Like that. Oh, just pop it on the end. That'll make a chunky one. No doubt. Give that a bit of room to expand.
What with that?
Right. So what we're going to do now then, Sian, is poke like this. Look. Go. Poke 2 holes like that in each one. Because we do.
Of course we do, that's not an answer.
It's a good enough answer for everything. Right, let's see how long we have to cook it for. I really do need new glasses. This is small writing. I mean, don't know if you can see that. Mind you, it probably looks bigger when I put it up to there, but it is actually small writing. And I do need new glasses.
Yeah.
See, I only wear glasses normally for reading, writing, and like I'm looking at you because I'm looking into the screen so I can see it. Or if I didn't wear them, it'd be a bit blurry. But if I'm just doing anything else, I don't need glasses at all. But I'm a bit worried about going to the opticians because he says I'm borderline for needing them all the time. So I've been putting it off. I don't know why, but just have. We'll go after Christmas now. So let's see then. You pricked them all with a fork nicely to come through well. Okay. So it says we put it on the baking tray and bake for 30 minutes until pale and golden. And it is on gas mark 3 because we're gas here. But it's 160 degrees centigrade up 325 degrees Fahrenheit. But we work with gas, so we've got it on gas mark 3. So I'll open the oven door. Do you want to pop it into the oven, Sian?
How do I pop it into the oven?
Quite easily take hold of it and put it in. Just mind you. We're back again. We just chopped the end of the first part a bit short when we were putting it into the oven. My camera went off, so nothing exciting happened. We just popped them in the oven, waited, and now they're done and out they've come. So what we're going to do now, or what Sian's going to do now, is just sprinkle a little bit of sugar on the top of them while they're nice and warm. So if you just want to pop your spoon in there then, Sian, roll your sleeves up please so they don't go in. And then just put some on your spoon and just sprinkle onto the biscuit. It doesn't matter if bits go onto the tray, obviously that's all going to be washed. So just sprinkle it nicely.
Oh.
Yeah, like that second one, just I think we might have to scrape some off that one. And then if you can get it back on your spoon. And we're going to have one very sweet. Oh, it's a bit hot. Hot. There we are, that'll do. A little bit on there. That one's got a bit.
What are you doing,
Won't stop, we've got enough sugar. Enough sugar to start our own shop. We'll pop that away before she gets too carried away. And we'll see if we can just sprinkle it a little bit. You come up and sprinkle them a little bit where you might need it. We've not really got a house full of sugar lovers. Oops,
I love sugar.
Well, you might, but none of us don't. So, what we'll do, I'll lift it because it's hot. I'll show you what they look like. Excusing the sugar. There we go. Cooked nicely but very hot. So I'm going to pop that on top of the oven and we'll leave them to cool down before we pop them onto a plate. So that's this week's episode of Sian's homeschool cooking lesson, and hope you join us next week. Next Thursday we'll do another one. We don't know what we're going to cook yet, but I'll have a think about it in the week what we can do, and hopefully you'll join us next week. So bye from me and goodbye from Sian, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.